Republican and Democrat will read it and get a briefing.
Hey, have you ever thought about turning it around and flipping it around so we can actually see what we're looking at?
The cameras are better on the back. Right?
I mean,
Yeah, they're better on the back.
but I just know that you can kind of see in case somebody comments and you can look at it and see what they say. That's how I knew.
You're not gonna be able to see, will you, because of this?
If you turn your whole phone around and flip the camera where it faces you, like if you're doing a selfie, you can read the comments that come from.
I don't know if anybody's watching to give us comments.
No, don't take it out of there. Just turn the whole.
Yeah, but then how do you get it?
Turn your phone. Okay, now flip your camera. See the little camera on the right side below the lightning bolt? There we go.
Yeah.
Now that if somebody comments, you can read it if it comes through. And you can see who's watching.
If you look there. Hi, Janet.
See? Now you can see who's watching.
Yeah, but I guess we'll sit beside of it.
That's fine.
I need a mic.
I got two.
Pass over a double fist.
Florida and the Brown Fox News. Stocks start the day higher again. Our top story, 39,000 jobs added in May. According to the Labor Department, the unemployment rate ticking up to 3.7% with more people.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Chris Foster. Mrs. Foster.
Chris Foster. That's my brother's name. Chris Foster.
And good morning. Welcome to the Flora Mid-South RockStars. We've got Nathan, Holly, Pat, and Teresa in the building. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody today?
Good. I'm still half asleep.
Yeah, I know. Well, you are listening to the Flora RockStars, Rockin the Real Estate News and all things local. Today on our show, we have another big show for you. We'll have quote of the week. We will hear from everybody's weekend, see what everybody was up to. Of course, numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. And then we're going to talk about buyers today because we don't have a guest with us. And we thought today it would be an educational day and just talk about what the best practices are for a buyer. Then we're going to talk about local news and all of that together. So should be a good show. Hopefully, if you've got any questions, you can call
766-9393.
766-9393. So if you have any buyer questions, seller questions, or just real estate questions in general, let us know. Nathan, you want to start us off?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. So the quote of the day is going to be, now, one thing I tell everyone is to learn about real estate. Repeat after me. Real estate provides the highest returns, the greatest values, and the least risk. Armstrong Williams, entrepreneur.
And what do you think that means?
It's just stable. The investment is stable. I was kind of looking at numbers last night, and on a normal savings account type interest rate, you're going to be making about 0.25%. You get into your, if you're lucky on just that's just a savings account that's stagnant, doing nothing. You get up into your CDs and your Sally Mays and all that. You're looking at about a 4.5 to 5% return annually. But then you look at real estate, and real estate generally, if you don't update or force appreciation by doing remodels or updating appliances or updating structural things, it's going to be just a 4% appreciation value. But if you do those other things, it's all the way up to 10% or more, I've seen. So it's just a little more stable.
Your son is attempting to reach you.
Your stock market is also about, they say, is about 5% as well. And the stock market is not always there either. So real estate is very solid in the fact that at least it'll be a 4% appreciation, and it'll always be there.
Right, and we just came off of a tremendous run for the last 12 years where we just kept increasing and increasing. And in the last couple years, we've had property increase of value of 22%. So that's crazy numbers, and that was good for sellers. And now they're still saying we're going to appreciate. And we're appreciating 4 to 5%, like you said. And so you can't go wrong. You're gonna make money and do the improvements, and you make even more money.
Absolutely.
Do you have an idea on the improvements, like what kind of improvements?
Generally, like anything, updating water systems, or they say alarm systems.
Kitchens are huge.
Kitchens,
Bathrooms.
Just
Kitchens and bathrooms are huge.
bringing everything up to date.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I really think, I mean, we have, when we walk into a house and we're looking at it with buyers, I've had people to straddle a toilet and push on
Yes.
each side of the toilet just to see if the floor is soft.
Yes.
So if you know your floor is soft, I think that's a minor thing that needs to be handled, because obviously you have some kind of leak or something going on. Those are just kind of a minor thing. I mean, it is kind of a big thing, but they could really affect the sale of your house.
Well, and not only will the buyer find it, the home inspector will find it, the appraiser will find it, so it just affects everything down the road.
It's better just to go ahead and just deal with it right up front. So if you are thinking about selling, there's things that you can do for sure. Especially, this is an investment standpoint. At that point, when you finally decide to sell, money talks. And that's where it turns into an investment side of things.
Yeah, you need to take out the emotional part of it. You may have lived in this whole house and raised your kids and all of that. There's a lot of emotions, but at this point in time, you've got to think of it like investment in business. I got to make as much as I can out of it. What's the market saying? And that's when it's good to hire a realtor to find out exactly what the market value is of the house.
Well, not only that, when we're talking about your values and how much money you can make, there's a slight difference between buying a home to live in for 10, 15 years, and then you flip house flipping, for instance. The percentages can be more than the 10% or up to 20%. I mean, but there's a whole big formula. We love to sit down and talk to anybody about it if they really want to hear about all that. It's pretty boring, but interesting to me. But the house flipping and the property, well, if you're getting rental properties as investments, is different as well, because not only are you getting your 4% appreciation for the actual house itself, you also have the cash flow of the rental property itself too, that you have to add into that.
I know people our age, even younger now, are building their own portfolios to really start investing. They see how, because they've learned, and technology can be such a pain, but these kids really are learning from TikTok, from social media, how to be investors, and they learn it from people who, like us, who are willing to share our knowledge, educate them, and educate people to, especially with the investment side of things. Numbers are not really my thing, and but I know that Nathan is a numbers person. I know Teresa is a numbers person. They are way better at that. I'm not going to deny that part. I'm learning myself, so I learn from them just like you learn from them. So I appreciate that. Thanks.
All right, how was everybody's weekend? Pat?
Well, let's see.
Well, what happened to you?
Well, I tell you, I was minding my own business, and this gang come up, and they started fighting me. We were fighting like Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, all combined, everything. Fists were flying, feet was flying, and everything. And then one of them guys pulled a knife and sliced my face.
Yellow belly.
And I just said, I've had enough of this. I just pulled out my gun and started shooting everybody like John Wick.
And
if you don't believe that, then I had all my warts removed so that people wouldn't recognize me as the Wicked Witch of the West.
And
I didn't ever notice that you had warts.
she didn't.
I didn't. And if you don't believe that, I had skin cancer removed. And the reason the scar is so long is because I let it go too long. And it is basal carcinoma, I believe it is what they call it. Basal cell carcinoma. And it just started out as a small spot, but it kept, I thought I just kept bumping the scab off and it wouldn't heal. Everything I'd done, it wouldn't heal. And I just let it go too long. And then when I decided to have it checked out, it went really long.
And it didn't take very long. for it to go long, because it was just little,
Yeah, it was just a little spot.
and then
But it had roots on it, I
Yeah.
guess, that went way down in there. So, if you got a spot that you're not sure about, go get it checked out.
yes, absolutely.
That's the reason why sunscreen is so important. Wear hats and sunscreen.
Well,
My kids
yeah,
think
I
I'm
mean,
crazy, but
as a kid, you don't do that.
Well, no, back in the day, it was baby oil and iodine.
No,
You know, you was laying out in the sun.
no, I didn't do that. I was
I
out
did.
gardening.
Oh, no.
And, you know, we had to hoe in the garden.
I
or
didn't have
chop
no hoe.
cotton, or pick cotton, or haul hay, you know, stuff like that. I worked on a farm.
I had to work in the garden. I did
And
have
if
to
you
do that.
told them, wait a minute, I can't go until I get my sunscreen on, it wouldn't have been pretty.
No, it would not have been pretty.
Oh, no, I had to work in the garden, but then after the garden, I could go lay out.
And then
We even went as far as put aluminum foil down and lay on the aluminum foil.
bake yourself.
Bacon.
Here, let's baste her with some of this baby oil.
Yes,
and
exactly.
iodine. That just amazes me.
What was the
Iodine.
iodine for? Sorry.
For the color,
to tan your
You got a
skin.
microphone.
for color.
Haven't you ever seen iodine? It's like this orange. She just wanted to look like an Oompa Loompa, apparently.
Well, but it didn't really make you real orange, because if you were out in the sun, it gave you a tan. So yeah, and that's why you have all these age spots. Why I have all these spots now, because I did that. So
So,
the
yeah.
sun is not your friend.
And working at the fair and out at festivals. So, yeah, in the sun. No protection.
So I guess we could talk about our weekend.
Yes, what'd you guys do?
Work on a house.
Yes.
It's never ending.
Hey, we went to the creek for a little bit. That was fun.
Yeah, we did. We took the girls to the creek swimming for a little bit. So if Shoal Creek is a great place if you are local or you're coming in out of town. Shoal Creek down there in Iron City, the bridge is actually free. You can park down there and go in for free. A lot of people know my dad owns a Sycamore Campground Taco Shack. You can always go and enjoy tacos right there on the creek with him. But anyhow,
Really good.
it is good. We have been knee deep, arm deep, I don't know what you call it, of remodeling a house, because it has been a bigger project than I really expected it to be. And that is why home inspections are important.
Very much so.
Along with termite inspection.
Yes,
Mhm.
termite inspection.
Yes, definitely termite inspection, but sometimes you just have to negotiate past that, unfortunately, and then you just hope for the best, but hoping for the best didn't turn out the best.
It's not- It's not fixable.
It
It's
is.
just- You
I
can
mean,
fix
'cause-
anything with time and money, but when you're short on both, it's kind of hard.
I mean, I have a remodel guy that I work with very closely, and we have made several phone calls to him.
Thank
And
you.
he literally just bought. We closed on a house that he bought last week that he is also flipping again. This will be the third house, and this one's probably the biggest project he's had since I've been working with him. So I'm really excited to see that one. So definitely keep up with us because we will try to share that as he goes
You should have
along.
been sharing your story. As you go. I know you've been posting pictures on Facebook, but
We've been taking. I was keeping this in my back pocket, but I'll talk about it. But I've been taking a lot of videos and pictures and stuff, and then when it's got done and we moved in, I was going to put it all together. And
yeah,
show it
that's
to 'em.
cool. This is what you don't do. No.
I mean, we've had some of those. Like yesterday, he's got a bottle jack, and he's got this big 4x4 sitting on it, and he's just jacking it up, and all of a sudden I hear a boom because the block broke.
Well, no wonder you can't get nothing done.
You
You got a bottle of Jack.
Very, very
Right.
true. That is true. So it's
And that's how come it failed.
Yeah, exactly. I switched to McUltra, don't worry.
it's been a lot of learning and a lot of fun. We are excited. So yeah, we are big on social media. So if you do happen to kind of want to see what we're doing, check us out on there. I'm Holly Ann Wallace on there, and he's Nathan Cabins on there, and we tag each other a lot in a lot of our project that we're doing. But like he said, we do have video. I've been taking video too. Once rooms and stuff is completed, we'll have a lot more video up.
Not only that, Home Depot has become a home away from home.
And the lady offered me a job the other day. She's like, you could just, work for us. And I'm thinking, it's not a bad idea. That way-
Discount.
Discount.
Employee discount,
I
yeah.
know.
As long as it takes effect immediately.
Right,
So,
right.
Teresa, what'd you do this weekend?
I went and took a ride in my new ride. I went over to Savannah and looked at one of the properties I have listed. I have it's about an acre right on Kentucky Lake, the Tennessee River, or Kentucky Lake, Tennessee River Park. I don't understand why y'all call it different names. Like, they said that part of the Tennessee River is called Kentucky Lake.
Because it's above or below Pickwick Dam. It's below Pickwick
But
Dam.
still,
And the next down is Kentucky. So that's
Mhm.
Kentucky Lake.
okay, well,
I did not know that either. That's interesting.
And if you go to, let's see, Joe Wheeler's the next one up the stream. So below Joe Wheeler is Pickwick Lake.
I did not know that. I love both those lakes. I love Pickwick and I love Joe Wheeler. But I've never been to Kentucky Lake. I didn't
it's
even know
just
it
right there. It's the lake. I mean, it's the river.
Yes.
It's a huge part of the river.
But above the dam, if you go, where the dam is, they call that, the lake. But the whole area is Kentucky Lake down to the dam.
Okay.
So you have a listing on
I
Kentucky
do.
Lake?
I do. It's almost an acre. And we just lowered it to 70,000. It's in a gated community, has electric and utilities already in place. It's got a beautiful view. If there wasn't weeds, I can't go through the weeds because I have a tick phobia. But I kind of stepped up on my Jeep and looked around, and it's beautiful.
That's where, safety first.
Mm-hmm.
You get some bags and you wrap yourself up in these plastic bags with duct tape and everything, and you just have the little holes for your nose and your eyes, and you go looking around.
Right. Yeah. I
Is
said
there a spray for the ticks though?
Yeah, there is. I just forgot to take it.
No.
So yeah, but
And you dropped the price 70,000. You didn't drop it to 70,000, right?
no, we dropped it to 70.
Okay.
Yeah, we were at 80 and now we're at 70.
Okay.
The rest of them are selling for 130. So they want it gone. And then I went over and met a guy named Bill, and Bill is part owner of a huge farm. And it was kind of cool, and it was a nice ride. And it's 225 acres and a lot of woods, a lot of deer country, and it's going to be a great listing coming up. I think if somebody wanted to clear it up, it's just gotten out of hand. It's him by himself, and he's getting ready to have his first grandbaby, and he wants to head south to be with his daughter and his new grandbaby. So that's going to be a really cool property if you're into animals, if you're into hunting. He said the biggest deers he's ever seen comes off his property, so it's a good piece. And I
Where's
think
that at?
it's over in Clifton. Excuse me, Clifton on I'll think about I'm old. Something Hollow Road.
It's
Where
got,
the tornado went through. Where the that big hill the tornado went through.
So they're close. I know the Beach Creek over there is where it got hit real hard from the tornado.
I'll find it and let you know. I can't remember. That's terrible. Anyway,
Well, that's coming soon.
yes, it is coming soon. I'll have pictures, and then I'll have to have a drone, and it's a nice. I mean, it's grown up, and we're gonna have somebody bush hog a trail through so you can ride and kind of look at it. But
I think it's priced really. I think it's being priced really good.
Yes.
And we've already
550.
talked about it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a lot of land for that price.
And the house is great. The house is a modular house, but it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, great shape. It's got a wraparound porch on it or deck, and it's got a circle driveway. You go up a hill to the driveway or up to the house, and it's going to be nice. So watch out for that one. And that was my ride. I got sunburnt because I had my top off of the truck. Sorry, the truck. And so it was fun. Cody got a little sunburnt, so I had to put him in the backpack of the Jeep so he would get out of the sun because there was a whole lot of sun. Oh, and then I experienced my first rain
Oh,
with the
all
top
rain.
down. Yes. it was sprinkles, and I got hit it 2 or 3 times. So
What'd
that
you do?
was interesting. Went faster, and it went right over. So I didn't get wet.
Drive between the drops.
Right, like drive between the beacons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Well, I noticed you got some happening on your deck.
yeah, I've got having some things done on the house. Having a roof put on my porch, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I had a deck put in on my rental property, and I have a shop that they are putting on a porch over on my shop as well.
So we
So-
left yesterday morning and we come back and there's a porch.
Yeah.
I know, with a roof.
With the
A
roof.
roof. I know.
And
That's
it's like,
fast.
wow. That's what I thought. And then a platform for a hot tub. So anyway,
Easy.
so yes. So that's going on at my house.
For
and-
going topless.
No.
Okay,
No.
this is my mother.
Yeah.
Well, you won't go blind.
No. He might.
Now she's gonna be wearing a top, so you're not gonna go blind.
Yeah. So anyway, so yes, there's a lot of activity at my house, and it's all good. Had a really good weekend. The weather was great, and just blessed. Just
Nice.
blessed with family and friends and good times.
All right, so
Okay, are we ready for a commercial break?
Yes. And then when we get back, we'll talk a little bit about the blessing boxes.
Hey y'all, this is Shelby
Oh.
B. Lowe, and I'm here
She
to tell
said,
y'all
we're
about
going to cut to
I know.
commercial. When we come back, we are going to hear us talk.
I know. I got it in the wrong spot.
Flora Mid-South Grill.
The next commercial, will you do the blessing box commercial? Is it all there?
If it's coming up Chevy Lee Lowe, then I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
That's one that, did you hear this morning when we were on up front? They had our.
Oh, up front?
Mm-hmm.
And we're back with Flora Mid-South Realty, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Want to mention a little bit about the blessing boxes before we get into anything else. Remember, the blessing boxes are here in Lawrence County, throughout the county, and we now have 40 boxes. People are putting up the new boxes, and that's exciting. It gives more people opportunity. It's just more boxes we got to put food in. So we had a lady stop by last week and give us a huge donation, and we really appreciate that. And if you are cleaning out your cupboards and you've got some food that you decided you don't like anymore, it's still got a good date, don't forget us. And we could take donations there at the office. We could take financial donations. You could donate cash, or you could donate through an app on your phone called Venmo, and we can help you with that if that's what you choose. Blessing boxes are really important. You know, we try to put some food in them at the end of the month just to help people get over that hump till they get their services back. So any help would be appreciated. And I will tell you, we are late getting it out this month. So we got to get out there and get some food put in the boxes.
And if you, go ahead.
Well, just check your dates. Yeah, everybody says can last forever, but they don't. Check your dates. We don't want to be passing on any botulism.
Yeah, true.
Especially if it's acid, like tomato base or something like that. That really,
And you have to be cautious with the heat now too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So think about that too when you bring stuff in. But I know that I noticed that the office is a little bit, the room that we have for the office is a little bit low. So definitely we could really use the donations. Our community is very important to us, and especially to feed a lot of people around here.
Right.
And
Right.
we can come and pick it up for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I don't mind it. I mean, you know, anywhere, just let us know and we'll make arrangements. So anyway, that's our Blessing Box project, and it's ongoing every month. And we do what we can, and if you could do what you can, then there'd be a lot of food in our boxes. Now to my favorite part. Numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. And I'm just going to give you some numbers for the week of May 28th through June 3rd. Currently, right now, we have 70 listings, and with an average sales price of $409,736.
And that's just Lawrence County.
That's just Lawrence County.
That's
So
insane.
that is
Big.
high. That is high,
What do you
crazy
think is
high.
driving the price up so much?
Really high listings.
Really high listings, high prices.
Yeah, I noticed there is like a million. There's one that's over $1 million. It's I think in St. Joe.
It's
It
either
just went
1.9 or 1.19.
Yeah, it's in St. Joe. I think just hit the market maybe last week. I noticed that and I was like, holy cows! And I was shocked. I couldn't believe it that kind of a listing around here.
I know.
So that I think drove up the price
I
because
think
I feel like average is probably more realistically is probably around 275. I would say.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 300.
It is, but we have coming soon properties. You want to talk about what coming soon property is?
Yes, houses on the MLS that will be very, very soon. I actually have a coming soon property myself too, so it goes on until, for whatever reason, they have some fixing to do in the house. Mine is, we're waiting for professional photos to be done. Whatever it is to actually,
Paperwork,
just whatever it is that it needs to be, it's just letting people know. It's like a teaser.
Here it is. It's coming. Get
so
excited.
you have to pay attention, and so only realtors only have access to see the coming soon through our Real Tracks. Even our website offers that too. I don't believe Zillow can show coming soon, can they?
Mm-mm.
So that's why it's important to go to our website.
Mm-hmm. We have 6 of those. There's 6 coming soon listings with an average sale price of $400,833. We have under contract. Now there's 2 different categories for under contract. There's an under contract showing, which there's 37 properties with an average sale price of $321,616. Then we have the second category, and that is not showing. And there's 23 not showing under contract listings, and the average sale price for those are $256,739. You want to talk about what the difference is in coming
Sure.
soon and
showing and no showing.
Yes.
Well, showing and no showing is basically if it's still in the market to be shown, that there is an offer in, but they're still able and willing to take more offers, and still
Like
talk
backup
about a
offers.
transaction, backup offers. Your no showing is more so like it's a more concrete deal. The sellers and buyers are already at an agreement, and we're just waiting for the time to go by, and making sure all the inspections go through and such.
And the seller doesn't want any backup offers
Correct.
on that one. So it's pretty much an ironclad deal at that point, usually. Nothing's over till the person sings.
Until I say.
I was going to say that, but then I thought I better not. But anyway, because nobody wants to hear me sing. And then we got 1 expired. And then we had 10 closings last week. So that was really cool. And that we had an average sale price of $324,090. Now, pay attention to what the closed price is versus what the list price is. And, that will kind of give you an idea of what's happening during negotiations. The other important number that I talk about is list price to sell price percentage. It's really important to understand what you list it at and what you sell it for. And right now, sellers are getting 95.3%, which that's down. That's the lowest it's been in quite a while. And it usually runs about 98%. So it's
Is that a
still...
reflection of the actual market and the values of the properties?
Say that again?
Is that a reflection of the market with the value of the properties
It
coming
is.
down a bit?
It could be.
Because the listings are still kind of high in the
Well-
selling price, and they're negotiating them down.
I think it also is, there's more negotiation room because the prices may have been higher and they've sat on the market longer, so the sellers are more willing to negotiate on price.
Sometimes also sellers are really needing to make that move very quickly.
Yes.
For
Absolutely.
whatever reason that they have going on in their life. Like, the one listing that I had, we are actually negotiated a roof to be done. And, just because my sellers like, look, we have to get moved. So I do love that people are willing to work with other people. Makes our job easier, and I think it makes everyone happy in the long
I
run.
do too. It makes for happy buyers and sellers.
Mhm.
And that's what's important. You know, it just makes, you know, when everybody is excited about it and not, you know, sad or whatever, then it's,
Or I feel like they got the short end of the stick for whatever reason.
right. It always is good when everybody plays well together.
It does. It makes things so much easier and smoother. You know, I have the other one that we have that's going to be closing next week. Actually, we have had some major things that come back. Well, an appraisal, you know, and the appraiser says, well, this has to be fixed. This has to be fixed. And let me tell you something. If you have chippy pilly paint, even on a garage, go
on
scrape
a
it and
detached
paint
shed. Get rid
Yes.
of it.
Yep, because that's what the appraiser deemed. It was a little shed, not attached to the house,
And that was
it has
the
to be
appraiser,
fixed.
not the inspector.
Correct. And so in order for them to even get their loan, that has to be fixed. So those are important things that people just, none of us even thought about it. We overlooked it. Everybody did.
Everybody in the deal.
Everybody in the deal did. And so now we are literally all working together to get that problem solved. And I like that everybody's willing to work together to fix the problem.
The chippy pilly paint, that is a major issue, and that goes back to lead-based paint. You know, depending on, you know, well, it doesn't depend on anything. No matter what it is, if it's chippy pilly paint on concrete, chippy pilly paint on a shed outside, chippy pilly paint on a doghouse, they will ding it because of lead-based paint. The other thing is you just can't scrape it and put all those scrapings on the ground. They'll ding that. You know, it has to make sure you have to take shop vac out there and sweep it up or
I
I
something.
have literally
Yes.
shot back the grass.
Yes, you have to, because there can't be any kind of residue of that chippy
Remnants.
pilly paint.
Yeah.
You know, because they're afraid somebody's going to eat it, I guess.
Well, another thing about the chippy pilly paint on the outside is that it exposes the wood to the weather, and it'll cause rot to start.
That is so much fun to say, by the way. Chippy pilly paint.
I know,
Chippy pilly paint.
I mean, it's terrible and it's a nightmare to everybody, but it's fun to say.
Yes, yes. So, I think we're going to cut to another commercial, and when we get back, Holly is going to talk about a lot of things local and what's going on. So, we'll be back.
Dixon, Miss Tennessee. Did you know that there are
I did that backwards too, because it says Holly says we are back.
or hygiene products and dropping them off at a blessing box near you, or you can drop them off at Flora Mid-South.
At Flora Mid-South, we are located at
8:36.
just behind radio stations and McDonald's.
I have an idea.
Well, we got stuff to talk about, local stuff, and then we got our buyer thing too. We got
Oh,
Hi.
oh goodness.
Woohoo!
Boys are going,
Yeah,
hey,
thanks,
we're
man.
back on.
giving us perfect signals, everything. And we're
We
just- I love
missed
you.
it. You are listening to Flora RockStar's Rockin the Real Estate News and all things local, and Holly's going to talk to us about all things local.
Yeah, so I actually tried to get everything local around here that's coming up for the whole month of June. Every Saturday, every second Saturday, let me get that right, is the farm market day from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Summertown. We have been to that. That is so much fun.
It's
We
great.
brought the girls. It's real enjoyable for the family. Super cool little things you can purchase. I mean,
And learn about
great.
and I
They-
love their items they sell. You know, they're
Yes.
neat, they're unique and different, and I really
they
like
even
going
have
up
a
there.
thing where you can sign up to do, what is that, foraging?
Mm.
You can take a foraging class, and I was like, you know, a lot of people who are really getting into the off-grid living,
Mhm.
trying to learn more about nature and that kind of thing, I think that's really cool. They
Yeah.
do offer some classes on
Or
that. I
being a
saw that.
survivalist.
Survivalist. I think that's, I mean, unfortunately, I think our country's really needing to learn those things. I feel like a lot of younger generations have gotten away from that. I would say even a lot of this generation maybe doesn't even know how to farm, even
Right.
have a garden.
Well, you know, too, if you go on that show Naked and Afraid, then you'll know how to live off the land.
That's true. That is very true.
If I was naked, we'd all be afraid.
Their viewership would go straight down if I was on it. Man, it's even. Oh my
I
God.
know.
So this Saturday is also Pulaski's famous Sundrop Fest.
Oh,
That is
I didn't
this
even
weekend.
know about that.
It starts at 2. They will have the milk drop and a sun drop cake contest. They have a mechanical bull, live entertainment, and 50 plus craft and food vendors. I've heard a lot of people love. There's all kinds of businesses that get on board downtown. Part of the downtown committee in Pulaski that has a lot to do with their sun drop fest, and that's this weekend.
You know, I'm a Yankee from up north, been down here for about a year, and I think I need to give some sun drop a chance. I haven't given it a chance yet.
Are
You've
you
never, have you
kidding
tried
me?
it?
I haven't tried it yet, no.
Oh my!
I am a northern, and I cannot do sun drop.
Well, I see it all everywhere, and
It's-
it's big old.
It kind of
containers
reminds you of
it.
Mountain Dew, kind of, but
It's a little sweeter.
oh my gosh, it's like sickening sweet.
No, I have a friend that I think that she could have an IV of sun drop. She literally, because of where she lives at right now, when she comes home, she's like, she stocks up on sun drop, and if we go to visit her, she's like, I need y'all to bring me back a lot of sun drop. So let's see, I can't even read my own writing. Oh, this Saturday is the Return, the Ultimate Beatles Tribute at the Stone Theater at 5 p.m. You know, the Stone Theater does lots of tribute bands. So I think that's a really cool
That's-
place. It's a
Where's
cool
the
thing to do.
Stone Theater?
Yeah.
That is, so the Stone Theater is in Loretta.
Is that there at Keystone? or
Keystone
something?
Resort, it is. Let's see here. Oh, Summertown High School Band is having the Sound of Summertown Car Show and Bike Ride on June the 17th at 11 a.m. So be sure to go out and support the Summertown High School Band. June the 15th through 17th is the Summertown Bluegrass Reunion from
That's
12 to
what I
9.
go to.
I know that's a real popular thing.
It is.
That they do annually.
Oh, they do it twice a year.
Yeah, I think it's a huge thing. I grew up with like going to family. We would have family reunions that always played bluegrass. I come from a musical family on my dad's side, and so they always played bluegrass and sang. I mean, that was just old time hymns and bluegrass. That's what I grew
It's
up with.
flooded in the mountains.
Yeah. The Lone Star Rodeo is this Friday and Saturday at 7:30 at the Lawrenceburg Rotary Park. It is hosted by Summertown Metals, which is also a local owned business, and the Henryville Fire and Rescue Department. So make sure you do go out and support that. If you do have any local events you want us to share, please call the office at 931-762-4247 or send us a message on Facebook, and we will be happy to announce it on the radio.
Absolutely.
Well, you've also got the Plowboy auction Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And that is the opportunity, like if you don't want to garden and you want to can and have food for the winter, that's where you can go, because they auction off bulk foods. A lot of times small businesses will go, small vegetable markets will go. But
I've
yet,
seen Walmart go and buy stuff, especially like pumpkins, like
Yeah.
in that season, and watermelons.
I went and bought a bunch of green beans one time and I canned them all up. I buy fruit too, and we'll process fruit.
Yeah,
and
because
get
you
it
buy by
right.
the case, like
Right, you can buy
a
large.
bushel.
Well, yeah, you can get, like your family or friends and neighbors or whatever, get together and go buy some stuff and share it.
Right, you do that
That's
too.
a really
Do
good
they
idea.
only do produce? Because last time we were there, they were doing furniture.
That was the
That
special
was-
one we went
the-
to.
Oh,
They have special auctions where they sell other stuff.
That happens in October.
It was fun.
I like the Plowboy auction. They have a lot of stuff available. But the vegetable auction I call it the vegetable auction. It happens 3 times a week.
Yes,
And I was questioning myself.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Do not let Teresa go to an auction.
I
You have to bring a U-Haul.
don't think that would be a problem with things I got a can though. So, but that's a great opportunity.
If it involves work.
Yes, it involves work. It's not for me. That's not true.
That is not true. I don't think you ever rest.
No.
So, actually, I know we have like group discussion coming up, but we were talking last night about funny things because we got a little time here,
Mm.
and what things have happened in real estate stuff. And you was telling us about one incident that happened to you last night.
Yes. I was showing a property, and the family was looking all around, and the husband wanted to go up into the attic. Now, mind you, he is probably 6'6", real tall, skinny guy. And the wife and I were looking all around, and he's up there, and I just reminded him to walk on the
Rafters.
the rafters, and he said, yeah, no problem. Well, they're covered with insulation, and so he missed one, and all of a sudden her and I are in the kitchen, and we hear this kaboom, and we go in the living room, and all we see is two legs dangling where he fell through, and fell. One leg went on one side and one leg went on the other.
Oh, that hurts.
It makes my stomach hurt.
He was okay, but it was right above the baby bed, and it just all fell in the baby. The insulation went everywhere. No, the baby wasn't. Nobody was harmed but the gentleman.
And
But-
so, what happened? Did they buy
They
out?
ended up buying the house. They had to we negotiated, and they loved the house, and
And you buy it, you break it, you buy it.
right. But we did fix it, and then they ended up buying the house anyway, and so it all ended up happy. But that was one of my funny things that's scary. I mean, too, because I was worried to death, but funny.
Pat, do you have any stories like that?
Oh no, I've heard of stories though, like where people have built houses on the wrong lot.
Hmm.
I've heard that
So
too.
yeah,
Oh no.
and it was down in Alabama, and this guy that owned that lot, he knew it, but he didn't stop them and didn't tell them.
You're like, you're gonna build a house on my lot.
That was a big lawsuit right there.
What happened?
Because, well, I don't remember exactly what happened, but the judge told the guy, he said, you should have stopped them
Mhm.
before they finished the house. I guess he thought he was just going to get him a new house for nothing.
Mhm.
That's exactly probably what happened. That's just sad.
So,
Holly and I know an agent
Yes.
that
Linda Baker.
uh-huh.
She's from Atlanta, Georgia. She is great. I just laugh at her.
she is funny, and tell them about what she did.
She's done a couple of different things.
Yeah.
She has sold the wrong house before to a guy.
All the way through. I mean,
All the
contract,
way through.
Here's
She's
your
like,
keys. Let's
yeah.
go see your new house.
Yeah, it's like she's driving him out and everything, and he goes, Glenda, you're supposed to go that way. And she goes, no, that's not right. You go this way. And he's like, no, Glenda, it's supposed to be that way. And she's like, no. And so she drives up and she gets out, she goes, ta-da, this is your house. Because she realized on her way there that she probably sold him the wrong house. And he gets out and he goes, Glenda, did you sell me the wrong house? And she goes, maybe. And but he was actually okay with it. It was still in the neighborhood that he wanted, and they tore down the house anyway. They was tearing down the house and built a beautiful one in this beautiful neighborhood. She's done a couple different things. She's got some doozy of stories. Let's see, what was the other one? I don't even remember.
I don't know. She's
If you
crazy.
know her, look her up on TikTok.
Yeah, she is hilarious.
She is. We've met her in person. I've had pictures made with her. She's just kind of a real estate rock star.
Mhm.
But she is as country as can be. Like I said, she's from Atlanta, Georgia, and she is Southern through and through.
She is.
And she's in the dating scene. So.
Oh, to hear her stories about the dating apps is just hilarious.
Oh yeah,
I can relate.
I know I've been single, so yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah,
It's kind of scary.
hilarious.
It is some of the stories that we just can't talk on the radio about.
No.
well, you have to be careful because some of them can be dangerous.
Right.
Oh, my mother made me put I haven't even turned it off yet, but my mother can still track me everywhere I go. She made me turn on my phone so she could track me everywhere I went.
That Life 360.
No, we had iPhone, so we have a way to follow it without the Life 360. So that's always helpful.
Yeah. I think my son doesn't realize that we've still got that too, and I know where he's at. He's traveling along this road.
And how old is your son?
Huh?
How old is your son?
He's 39.
And Mama still tracks. Well, I'm 41 and my mama tracked me, so can't say nothing.
So hey,
You're on your own side.
she's
ain't
not
tracking
tracking you.
No.
And you gotta watch those air tags too. They can be kind of dangerous too. I mean, they can be a good thing, but they can also be a bad thing.
What is that?
It's an Apple AirTag, and people can stalk you with it. They can attach it to your car or whatever and follow you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
I did, you gotta love Facebook. I don't know how much stuff is true, but I can see it possibly being potential that if you see like a zip tie or something like attached to your car somewhere, that you have been targeted by somebody. It's just that they know to target you.
Well, the AirTag come out so you can track your luggage or whatever. It was a good thing. But then some people said, hey, look at here.
Of course, they turn it dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Bad.
actually have had friends who've gone through divorces and stuff like that, and it's just sad, but I've heard some horror stories of them, like exes tracking them.
Yeah, I mean, it can be bad, especially for domestic violence and things like that.
Yep, exactly.
All right. I don't know how we went there from funny to
Well,
that.
woo, all the way over.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
So anything else funny? Has anybody heard or seen anything funny?
No, not funny. I did go to a house that we believed it was probably haunted.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, you told me about that last night. I did. We were over in Petersville, me and a client, and she was on FaceTime with her husband and was walking up the hill, and I'm standing outside on the carport and just standing there, and I'd already kind of like had that goosebumps on like the back of my neck when I walked in the house. Like you just feel something different. Beautiful, beautiful house. It was built in the early 1900s or the late 1800s. It was super old on this old farm, and but I was staying outside, just standing there minding my own business, and then I hear a lock, and we had literally got locked out of the house. I had to go around front. It wasn't one of those fancy locks. It was just an old school lock. And I had to go around front to get us back in. I was praying that didn't lock too, but we got locked out. That was
And nobody
most
inside?
interesting. No, nobody was inside. It was just me and her there.
I've had one that here in Lawrenceburg that I was listed and showing it, and the lady walked in, and her eyes got as big as quarters, and she ran out of the house. And so then I went out there to see what was wrong, because I thought something was wrong with her, and she said that the vibes were bad, and she could feel the spirits, and she could feel this, that, and the other in this house, and that there was no way she was living in there. So
And then you say that it happened again with another person?
yeah, it happened twice, and then another one went in.
Same house?
Same house.
Okay.
And they said that they could feel somebody walking around.
So that being said, do you have to
Disclose that.
disclose that?
No.
Do not.
No.
I know a lot of people ask that. I know when I was a kid, someone in my family actually had a house that was very much believed to be haunted. They would, the rocking chair would be rocking. They had a guinea pig in a cage. It was thrown against the wall. I mean, like, the showers are turned on at night all the time.
Somebody was
So,
angry.
I remember it being talked about. You can probably mute that. But I remember when they went to go sell their house, and it being like I remember them discussing whether or not to disclose that. So
I know,
Yeah,
you
the
don't have
haunting-
to.
Haunting, you don't have to disclose or anything.
No.
But
You don't have to
It's like
disclose if somebody died in there either.
No,
well,
you don't.
unless they directly ask
If
you.
they-
Yeah,
If
if
they
they
directly
ask
ask you, then you do have to disclose it.
You don't
but
have to volunteer
You don't
that
have to
in.
volunteer.
All right. Any more stories?
I'm good.
I
If the
think.
walls could talk.
I know. Isn't that funny? Or be the fly on the wall to hear the conversations. I've always wanted to do that.
To be the fly?
To be the fly on the wall to hear the conversations.
Yeah, but you'd get squished too.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I don't like what flies have to eat. So.
I know. Well, the one thing I wanted to talk a little bit about, we've got about 10 minutes or so, and that is a little bit of education on how to be a buyer. There is so many things on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and wherever, YouTube, everywhere you can think of that talks about what you should do and how to handle it and misconceptions, and then there's some really good advice. And so I just kind of want all of us to talk about what it is to be a buyer and what are my steps that I need to take to be a buyer. The first thing I want to let you know is there is on our website, if you go to FloraMidSouthRealty.com, and there's up on the tabs, there's one that says Buyer's Journey. it will look like a Monopoly game board, and you click on one of those spaces, and then a video pops up with one of our agents and explains that process. But I just kind of wanted to, go over it here just a little bit, and what should people be doing if they are thinking about buying? So y'all chime in.
Obviously, first thing is pre-approval.
Obviously, first thing, if you're thinking about buying, call Nathan Cavins.
No, I
Also,
think.
on that note, commissions are negotiable. Call us. They're
Okay.
negotiable.
Okay. I think the first thing to do is kind of look at where you are financially. You may want to buy a house, but there's some things that you need to know about. Have you been on your job for at least 2 years, or been in school in your job for at least 2 years? What does your budget look like, you personally? You need to kind of think of those things first.
Can I chime in real quick on that 2-year thing? Sorry.
Yes.
So the 2-year thing is not technically, you have to be at the same job for 2 years.
No.
As long as you are in the same,
Field.
pretty much the same field for 2 years.
Correct. Working for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. So, then once you get a mindset of this is what you want to do, then, like Holly said, then you go for a pre-approval. And that's with, we can give you a couple lenders that work real well with us, and they do a good job, and, we really will support
extra mile
them.
for
Thank
you.
you. And we know their reputation and how they work, so we'd be glad to talk to you about ours.
They can help you improve your credit score and everything with
If
your
you have
credit
trouble,
score.
yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was going to say. So if you are, that's good. If you are,
I'm psychotic.
I know you are. We do that.
Psychotic.
Psychotic. We finish each other's sentences.
But pre-approval is really important first step. Not only to not waste your time or fall in love with a particular house that you might not be able to swing.
We're working with one right now that was a renter that is actually looking to buy their first house. They's like, I didn't even think that was even, like, I was even good enough. And we're like, yeah, let's just walk through the process. So that's call us. We will help you kind of get there, and just to see where you qualify, because you actually might more than you realize.
Right. And that's what, like Pat was saying, you may not. And our lenders will work with you. And if you do what they say, then, in a short amount of time, you would be qualified to purchase. And then kind of go over the steps.
Well, then you find your house. Within your budget, you find the house, or you go looking for it. And then hopefully you'll find one that, hey, this is it. This is my house. And then you go and make an offer
You do.
with your Flora Mid-South realtor.
Right.
You say, hey, let's write up an offer for this.
The one thing about buying the house and looking for a house, if you're a first-time home buyer, this isn't your last house. Buying houses is like a stepping stone. You're going to buy your first house, and you're going to improve on it. You're going to live in it for 7-8 years, and then it's going to be too small, or you're going to want to upgrade. And so then you've got equity built up in that house then to buy your next level house. And then, once you get into that ultimate house, then everybody's going to be gone and all the kids moved out, and then you want to downsize. So there is a chain to that.
So you get your 4 houses, then you upgrade it to a motel.
yeah, right.
A camper.
Camper, yes,
Yeah,
where you
well,
travel.
So many people
Travel
are doing that.
I know.
It is. So many people are doing that now.
Which is smart. I mean, if that lifestyle fits within your lifestyle.
I like the idea of the cruise. To go live on a cruise line.
Oh,
No.
Why? You get all your meals there.
And then you have these rogue waves that come and sink you. Or you're stuck in there with
We
all,
see squirrel.
or you're stuck in there with all these people and they get sick and
That
then
was-
you get sick.
Okay, I didn't want to think
So,
about that.
so
And then
speaking
you-
about rogue waves, after you make your offer,
Then you have to apply for your loan.
Right.
You apply for your loan.
That's when you're going to talk to your lender, and you're going to let them know, they're going to want paperwork and more paperwork, and they're going to want bank statements and check stubs and all kinds of things. You know, if you've been divorced, they'll need your divorce decree. If, you know, there's just so many things that they're going to need because they need to prove you on paper, and they need to prove you on paper to a lot of people. So it takes documentation to make that happen. And then once that's all, then you go under contract.
Mhm.
And that's the exciting part. That's when the fun begins.
It's like, whoa, I'm fixing to get me a house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you have to have inspections.
Always inspections.
Have a home inspection. I mean, some people like to go and look at it themselves. A home inspector, I mean, they can find things that you wouldn't normally see.
They're gonna crawl under the house where I'm not crawling under that house.
If
Right.
they can get under it,
Right.
you know. And I've always told them, I said, why don't y'all get these little remote control things with a camera to go under the house and
That'd be
look?
cool.
Yeah, but until it gets stuck, and then you really have to go under there to retrieve it.
You've got it on a rope, you know, you pull it.
Oh, there you go.
And then you have to have a termite inspection too. That's very important because
Really important.
you
Extremely important.
You cannot see termite damage because they
Until you start
hide.
taking walls down.
And not only termites, you also have carpenter ants. They can do a lot of damage. They don't
Sure.
eat the wood. They just go in there
Those
and
are
live in it.
the big ants, right?
Yes.
And then the wood boring bees. You got those problems that'll eat your wood too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that an inspector is going to help you find. And then sometimes there's things that an inspector finds that,
You scratch your head like, what?
yeah, like may not be totally there.
Well, I mean, it can scare you.
Mhm.
And if you're really inexperienced and don't know what's going on and all that, then, you know, it can scare you and say, whoa, I don't want to deal with this.
But it really isn't all that.
I know, it's just like, okay, it needs some painting or
Now, do
something.
they do that for like liability reasons?
Yes.
Like it just
Yes.
releases them. Like if something would happen, it releases them. From
Well, it's the same way with lead-based paint. Normally, you know, it's covered. The lead-based paint is covered. I mean, if you cover it, you know, it's fine if you don't mess with it. But if you start messing with it, then it can be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
How about just let's not eat the walls?
Right, right.
Well, it's sanding and stuff. You've got all that dust.
I guess that's true too.
Right. Then you have, you know, we're running out of time now, but the whole process is, you know, several steps, and you've got under contract, and then your inspections. Then you have to have an appraisal, and the appraisal will do an inspection.
But it's not the same as a home inspector.
No, it is not.
They're looking for safety.
They are doing an inspection for the bank,
Right.
not
Sure
for
it's
you,
not their
for the bank.
Liability for loaning the money.
And whatever they ding, you know, it needs to be fixed or the loan won't go through.
Correct. Then you have, you know, repairs that you need to negotiate. And then the title work. The title company then will review the title and go back. I know some of them go back 55 years to make sure that there's no liens or anything on the property. And so those are all just part of the process of buying a house. There's so much to that, and we would be glad, like again, go to the website and you can see for yourself and learn on the different aspects of buying, or we'll be glad just to sit and talk to you. Even if you're not ready and you are interested in buying, then we'll be able to, or be glad to talk to you.
Well, absolutely, because if there is issues credit-wise or whatever, it gives you time to get things taken care of.
And just to educate you along the process.
Right. Just
Oh, yeah. Just
show
give us
you
a call.
exactly show you exactly what you need to be working on, or if you're ready.
Yeah,
Sure.
you can come by the office and sit and talk to us at 1288 First Avenue behind the radio station, McDonald's and Burger King. Or you can call the office at 931-762-4247. Or you can call me direct, Pat Bradley, at 931-345-2736.
You can reach either me or Nathan. We are the Cabins Home Team. You can reach us at 931-345-2406. Also, check out our social media.
Right. We are all over. Flora Mid-South Realty, just Google Flora Mid-South Realty, and we are everywhere. So give us a call. You can call me directly, Teresa Flora, at 931-271-5790. You can catch us at the office, or I might be running around in my Jeep. Y'all have a good day. Lonnie, take us out. And Lonnie, take us out.
Lonnie.
All this
Rose that up.
All this new stuff has got me off kilter.
No, that wasn't too bad.
No, it was great.
See sales associate for details, excluding Alaska and
We
Hawaii.
probably could have spent a little more time on liar stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we could have.
Wall Street this morning, the Dow
Well, I didn't get to play what I wanted to play then.
The
with
S&P 500 is
Pat.
dropping 3. The
I'm gonna close out
Nasdaq
with
is
Kung Fu
losing
Fighting.
20.
That would have been funny.
Everybody was
Gas is down a penny.
Those cats were
Bye, y'all. Everybody have a good day.
Bye.
Oh.